Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for finding us. I hope you liked this video. I'm really excited because I get to talk to you yet again about one of my favorite movies ever. That movie is The Matrix, released in 1999, written and directed by the Wachowskis. It stars Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, Hugo Weaving, and a bunch of others, Joe Pantoliano. It's a really fantastic cast. It's a great movie. It's an amazing cyberpunk film, amazing sci-fi film, an amazing action film. What I'm going to be talking about today is the amazing screenwriting in this film. Now, as I say, everything I talk about here is film theory. It is not film fact. As you know, if you watch the channel, or maybe you watch my Hong Kong cinema channel, which is a channel I've been doing for about 5 years now. I have a MFA, which is Master of Fine Arts in Feature Film Screenwriting. So I went to grad school for screenwriting, and then I was a script reader, first as an intern for a couple years, and then professionally for about 5 to 7 years after that. I've done it for about a decade. And so I read scripts for production companies, studios, screenwriters, producers, people like that, and I would give notes on them and give grades and things of that nature. I worked with screenwriters sometimes to help them kind of improve scripts. I've written scripts of my own, which have been passed around, and I've had a couple deals with production companies that never really came to anything. And then I did win a writing contest a couple years ago for fiction writing. So I have a novel that I'm working on with a publishing company at the moment. So hopefully that'll be out at some point within the next year or two. We'll see. Editorial process is going well, though, so that's just kind of my perspective. It's writing theory, film theory, and stuff like that. So what I want to talk about today is the way that The Matrix builds active tension and drama in functional scenes. So what is a functional scene? A scene that without it, the story cannot move forward. It's a scene that achieves a necessary plot point within the film. With lesser screenwriting, or with lazy screenwriting, bad screenwriting, whatever you want to call it, right? These scenes don't necessarily have active drama in them. Maybe lesser is not even the right word for it, because do they need active drama? That's a whole theory thing that you could get into. Does every scene in a screenplay need to have active drama? Is cinema inherently dramatic? And you get into the weeds of like the philosophy of it, right? But like cinema ultimately is nothing more than sound and light. You may be telling a dramatic story within cinema, but is it necessary for every single scene in a movie to have active drama? You can get into these kind of theoretical, philosophical debates about film and the form and stuff like that. If you want to best engage your audience and make a popular mainstream film that will have enduring power that people will want to watch again and again and again and stuff like that, typically, yes, you will need to have active drama as much as possible throughout the film, because that's what engages people and creates the feeling of tension and suspense that creates their kind of emotional relationship with the film, right? So this is the scene I want to talk about here, okay? So I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here so I'm not blocking too much of the screenshot. Okay, so this is the scene in the movie where what they're essentially doing, and obviously spoilers because I have to talk about kind of how this scene works in the film and stuff like that. So Neo, who's played by Keanu Reeves right there in the middle, he has met Morpheus, he has met Trinity, he's taken the pill that Morpheus gave him, and they're going to tell him what the Matrix is. They're going to, reveal all the secrets of the world, and he's on his adventure and stuff like that. This is really kind of the first scene on his journey that breaks us into Act 2, where he gets, woken up and everything. If you don't have this scene where he takes the pill and they locate him within the network of like the human batteries that the robots are using, and they get his body and they bring him onto the ship, the movie can't move forward. So that's what I mean by it's a functional scene. You need this scene in the movie. How do they create active drama out of the scene to make it an engaging and interesting scene and not a passive viewing experience where you're just watching what's going on? Because like the beginning of the scene, there's not really, it's intriguing, right? Because we don't know what's going on, but there's not active drama. Neo is sitting in his chair, or Trinity is hooking him up to this stuff. There's a lot of really, really cool technology in this scene, I should say. And I'm a big fan of really cool like cyberpunk technology. So we get her looking, I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of her character. Is it Flux? No, it's not. APOC and Twitch? Twitch. That's her name. Or is it Switch? Switch or Twitch? Anyway, she's looking at like all these hard drives that are, but I like this technology because it's like grungy. It's not like super clean high tech. It's like grungy, cyberpunky, like Neuromancer, Blade Runner, Terminator kind of like technology. So she's got all this stuff going on here, and he's got all these screens going on here and these goggles and what, everything that it's all very low tech and grungy. I just like it. And then Cypher is playing with these like eye things. I don't even really know what this is. And Morpheus has got, so as you can see here, there's a rotary phone hooked up to this spinning device. So the computer is trying all these different phone numbers and things like that. You know, it's like plays into the mythology of them using the phones. And Morpheus is putting the receiver on this device here. And so Neo is just sitting there. Currently, there's no active drama in the scene. And then a very simple thing happens. There's some cracks in the mirror, and they kind of fluctuate and disappear. So Neo reaches out to touch the mirror, and it's gooey. And a piece of it gets on his fingers, and it starts to spread on his arm. It goes up his arm toward his head, and Trinity says he's going into replication. And Morpheus says very urgently, APOC? And then APOC says, still nothing. So I don't know what replication means, to be perfectly honest with you, within the context of this scene. I could guess, but I don't really know. I don't think it really matters. What we know is that Trinity is worried that he's going into replication. Her worry worries Morpheus, and APOC says, still nothing. So now we know that they are trying to do something. Now, what they are trying to do is beneficial to Neo and will take us on the journey of the film, but that whatever is happening with this piece of the mirror that got on his hand, that is endangering the success of their mission. So now we have fear in this scene. We are worried, we are afraid that they are not going to be able to achieve what they need to achieve to successfully achieve this piece of the mission so that Neo can go on the journey of the film. And the stuff starts creeping up towards his face, and he looks very, very worried. So that increases the worry and the tension for the audience. So Morpheus gets on the phone and he says, Tank will need a signal soon. So now we're like, okay, they're looking for a signal of some kind. Like they got to find it or else something really bad is going to happen. But we have what's called a ticking clock. This is very important to creating tension and drama within films. If you have no time limit in which you have to accomplish something, there is no urgency to it. So there's no tension to it. We have the ticking clock of Morpheus saying we need to find this soon. And just the visual ticking clock of this stuff spreading across Neo, even though we don't actually know what it is or what it's going to do to him, we know it's bad. So it's up his face now, right? And we know maybe if it gets in his mouth, if it gets in his nose, he can't breathe, he'll turn into a robot. Literally, we don't know what this stuff is doing to him, but it doesn't matter because we know it's bad. So then APOC says, targeting almost there. So this introduces hope into the scene. So I've spoken about this before on YouTube, on my Hong Kong Cinema channel, on this channel. Hope and fear are these very important kind of compass points for mainstream American screenwriting because you create tension, drama, and suspense by having the audience vacillate between these poles of hope and fear. We fear that they are not going to achieve their mission, that everything will be for nothing, that Neo will not be awakened, we won't discover whatever. We hope, now that the targeting is almost there, that we can achieve the goal. So we're going back and forth between these things, and it creates tension for the audience. And Trinity says he's going into arrest. So this we can actually relate to. It's not like some weird, cyberpunk jargon. It's like, okay, he's going to have a heart attack or something like that, okay? But Locke, I got him. And then Morpheus says, now Tank, now. And now what happens here to me is brilliant because it ends the scene with no resolution, which creates suspense that drives you into the next scene and makes you want to keep watching and need to know what is going on. The mirror stuff comes up his face and goes down his throat. And then we see this. We cut from the inside of his throat to this, and we don't know what the hell this is. And then we see him wake up, and he's bald, and he's got this goo all over him, and he's attached to all these wires. If you've seen the film, obviously you know what's going on here. And that leads us into the next scene. So we have a functional scene of needing them to locate where his body is in the machine network of human batteries, right? By just this one brilliant detail of the mirror and the goo getting on his hand, we create an entire scene of active drama, suspense, and tension out of this functional scene. And then we don't resolve the suspense and the tension. We bring it into the next scene and create new intrigue, new suspense, and new tension in that scene, which drags us into the next scene that comes after that. So the writing in this movie is really just brilliant. And it's these details that make this movie so damn good and that make other movies that do stuff like this so well, so damn good and like a cut above your kind of garden variety film. So my name is Will. I hope you liked that video. It's film theory. It's not film fact. It's just me geeking out, talking about movies that I love and writing stuff that I get really hyped about. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.